Do you have good stuff for me? Holy crap! The choice scarf! This is the thing I really wanted to get sent. Thank you, Mom! I was just going to sell some stuff, but holy crap, I did not expect to get one of these. Choice scarf, if held by a Pokemon, will increase their speed, but it serves the same handicap as the choice specs in that once you pick a move, you're stuck on using that move until you switch out. Holy crap, is this going to be useful. But I'll meet you guys in Mahogany Town. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and welcome back for more of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Last time we took down Price in the Mahogany City Gym, and as you can see... Actually, we did that quite a while ago, didn't we? We removed Team Rocket from the radio tower and caught ourselves the two legendary roamers. I don't know why I thought we just took down Price. But we can... I don't want any more Rage Candy Bars. We can finally progress to the east over here, onto Route 44, heading towards Blackthorn City. And we finally have some regular trainers to fight for the first time in ages. I cannot remember the last time we fought regular trainers that weren't in the radio tower or the rocket headquarters. And it's a not-too psychic flying type. We don't see very many of these. In fact, I'm not sure if this is the only trainer in the game that has one that isn't a specific trainer later on. And a Kadabra, the evolved form of Abra. I'm not sure if we've seen one of these before. But just like Abra, it's a very powerful I forgot to heal up my guys after catching Entei and Raikou. Not that they took any damage, but I just realized that Lupus is missing like 6 PP for Dark Pulse. Oh well, no biggie, let's just move on. Shocking loss. It's funny because there were no electric types involved. But there are actually quite a few interesting Pokemon we can find on this route. The funny thing is, if you're just walking around like this, you're not going to notice where the grass is. And I suppose I'll switch out Duster for the sake of it. Because I don't want to have Lupus out for a fisherman. Because we know what type of Pokemon he has. But if you're just walking around this route leisurely, you're not going to notice where the grass is. Remoraid! You can catch one of these if you have the Good Rod or the Super Rod. This thing isn't much to write home about, but it has a very weird evolution that looks nothing like it. Believe it or not, that thing evolves into something that looks like an octopus. And I don't for the life of me know why. There are very few evolutions that look nothing like the thing they evolved from, and when I think of that kind of evolution, Remoraid is the first one I think of. None of the others come to mind, though. I mean, you've seen all of my Pokemon go through evolutions. Most of them look very similar to what they evolved from. It's unusual that they don't. And, you know what, let's have Lupus back out in front. I know I said I love Duster, and I'm using him because nobody likes me using him, but gosh darn it, I use him a little bit too much even for my liking. Okay, I take that back. You and I both know that's not possible, but I want to give everybody equal screen time. Man, it's a level 29 Mareep! Why hasn't that thing evolved yet? I feel like I want to go easy on it. Let's try a Fire Fang so we risk getting paralyzed, because that's the smart thing to do. I didn't get paralyzed? Ah, but Cotton Spore right there. It sharply lowers the target's target's speed. Very helpful to have on... I don't know how many Pokemon learn it, but there aren't many moves that sharply lower your opponent's speed. And we finally... No, we saw Blossom a very long time ago. What the hell am I on? Because the one trainer that we fought in one of the Pokemon Centers, and I forget where she was, but she had a Blossom. Speaking of getting paralyzed, it's a good thing I have all of those berries that I haven't been using for whatever silly reason. And Magical Leaf, a grass move that never misses. I'm noticing more and more that there are a lot of those moves that don't miss, like Feint Attack, Magical Leaf, and Swift. For some reason, the only one that would ever come to my mind is Swift. But since I have so many berries, I feel there is absolutely no reason for me not to use a cherry berry to heal you up. I have at least 50 lumberries and citrus berries, so I'm going to be using those as much as possible. Just because I don't feel like carrying around hundreds of berries I don't need. I might end up actually selling them. I should sell all of my other status ailment healing items that are actually worth something, like antidotes and the like. Alright, Charmeleon, I'm not going to switch out because I don't think you pose any threat to me, because I have Flash Fire. I haven't gotten to show that off in a while. There we go! Thanks, Charmeleon! You can die now. Now my Fire-type moves are boosted, and I get to torch whatever you send in next. Magnemite! This thing is going to get completely destroyed! Oh, I'm looking forward to this. God damn it, accuracy! This is why I don't like having Fire Blast. As powerful as it is, and even though it does have 85 accuracy as opposed to Blizzard and Thunder, which are 70%, it always misses when you don't want it to, but I suppose you never actually want to miss, because you'd be using another move if you didn't want to use it at all. Bye, Magnemite. I still want to lead with Lupus, though. For some reason, I really, really like Lupus. But I am afraid that he might be a little bit too powerful for his own good. Like, you're not even supposed to have Dark Pulse until you pick it up as a TM. But I really, really like Lupus, and I don't want it to go to waste. That's not an obvious hidden item at all. An elixir! I think that restores PP for every move, not just one like an ether does. And another Ultra Ball. I just bought a bunch of those, just in case, you never know. You really, really never know. That's why I always have like 100 Pokeballs on me at all times, because there's no reason for you not to. You know what I mean? You never know what kind of Pokemon you'll run into. Speaking of Pokemon I never actually use, and moves that sharply lower your opponent's speed. Hi, Rhyhorn and Crunch. How you doing? Rhyhorn, if I remember correctly, has the same cry as Charizard, which I didn't notice for the longest time. And you think I would, because I've said multiple times Charizard is my favorite Pokemon, but for some reason I didn't pick up on that until I got back into the games after my childhood. And another fisherman. How about Klaus? Sure, why not? I'll fish for 10 of them and trade them all to you. What do you want? Poliwag isn't really much. Oh well. I mean, Klaus and Crunch I think are the two most underused on my team, although I think I've been using... I used Klaus a little bit more when we went through the Team Rocket stuff, so there's that. Should probably get the experience share off of Krako. Screech sharply lowers the opponent's defense. I don't think I'd like to keep that. Although I forgot we had Supersonic. But Krako's a special attacker, so lowering defense isn't going to do too much for him. And another Goldeen. Let's just keep plowing through the team. As you can see, we're about where we should be in terms of levels. If you looked at how we took down Team Rocket, they were a little bit under us, but since you have to face so many of them one after the other, you should be a little bit higher level than them. So I think we're about where we should be. And once we get to our next city, that's usually where I run into the most trouble anywhere in this game, but we're not quite there yet, so we'll see. That's not even going to be a 2-hit KO. Oh well, maybe we can take it out with a quick attack on the next turn, not that we need to. We're faster than it already, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't have priority. But there's the Shell Bell in action. It restores your HP based on how much damage you do, and Flail's probably going to hurt. But Swift just to switch it up. Generally, switching up moves when you know you'd be able to take out your opponent with a move that you don't normally use is a good idea in competitive battling, but it doesn't make too much of a difference in the actual game. It's just something I like to do to preserve PP on moves that I'm going to be using. And I think there's one more trainer we missed over to the left. Sure, I give everybody my phone number because I'm a social person. Okay, we all know that's not true. But let's get Lupus back out because Lupus! And see if there's one more trainer down here that I missed, because I'm pretty sure I did. Didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. We'll just head back over to the east in front of the dungeon that we're probably going to be entering next time. I know there's one trainer over here because he mentions the legendary birds, and I don't know why I remember that for some reason. But he always stuck out to me for that reason. And we will eventually be catching the legendary birds as well, but all in due time. It's a hoot hoot! Now, for the longest time, I thought Hoot Hoot only had one leg, because you always only see it standing on that one leg, but apparently it has a second one that you just don't see. Maybe it's behind it or something. I don't know why it only stands on one leg. It's kind of silly. But Pidgeotto we haven't seen in a very long time. I forgot we caught Krako in a Premier Ball. It looks so cool. But I'm pretty sure... Oh yeah, I forgot Charge Beam missed. Now Twister is a not very powerful Dragon-type move. There aren't many Dragon-type moves. In fact, at least in the first generation, there were no Dragon-type moves that didn't do a set amount of damage. The only one that I can think of was Dragon Rage that would always do 40 HP of damage. And I think they first added Dragon-type moves in the second generation, but you obviously didn't have access to them for a fairly long time. Sure, let's meet up for more battles. You know what, why don't you call me and tell me more about the legendary birds? I'd really like to hear that. Oh well, we still haven't gotten calls to challenge us for rematches from people we've fought before, and I want to make sure there aren't any items around here that I missed. But before we head off, I will be checking out the grass in the center up there. So let's surf on over. There are a couple of new Pokemon there that we can pick up that we haven't been able to see up to this point, and also that little item in the grass over there that we may want to pick up as well. The first new one we can run into is Tangelo, the pure grass type. Pretty powerful defensive wall. Physical defensive, not special, which is why I'll be using Fire Blast. But it's one of those first generation Pokemon that didn't get an evolution until the 4th. And you evolve it by having it know a certain move. In Tangela's case, that move is Ancient Power. It doesn't evolve until it learns that move and levels up. And over here's an item we certainly didn't want to miss, the Max Revive. How do you feel about having Max Revives, Lupus? Let's see if we can run into the other Pokemon I want to see. Well, here's a new one. Weepin' Bell, evolved form of Bellsprout we haven't seen since we were overloaded with them in the Sprout Tower. That seems like forever ago, because it probably was. But this thing evolves into its final form with the Leaf Stone. There's one more dude I want to run into over here, if he decides to show up. There you are, Lickitung. I know we ran into one in the Safari Zone, but this is where you would be able to find it first in the original Gold and Silver. It's not an unusually rare find like Dunsparce would be, but, you know, it's here. And it's another one of those from the first generation that didn't get an evolution until the 4th, although I forget how it evolves. I think it's similar to how Tangela evolves. So, I'd say we're just about ready to continue forward in the direction of our next city. Unfortunately, though, it's gonna have to wait until next time. This is UniversalGiant, and we're heading towards the ice path. See you guys then.